Okay. So next question is asking us, how do you simplify complex fractions? All right. So first, let's define what a complex fraction is. So, definition: complex fractions are fractions where any or both of the numerator and denominator contains a fraction. Right. So some examples could be so 1/2 is our numerator, and then over, let's say 2, and let's say 2/3 over 4/7, and let's say 5/7/8. Yep. So these are the what we call the complex fractions. And in terms of how to simplify all these complex fractions, let's follow the general steps. So step 1, we always need to find the common denominator. And step 2, we need to multiply the common denominator to the numerator and denominator. And our last step will be simplified. Right. So let's try an example. Let's see. Okay. So let's start a new page. Let's see, we have 1/2 over 3/4. Right. So the denominator of two fractions are 2 and 4. Yeah. And these two fractions are just 1/2 and 3/4. So the common denominator of 2 and 4 is just going to be 4. So the common denominator of 2 and 4 is 4. So now let's just multiply 4 to both fractions. So we'll have still 1/2 over 3/4. Then we times 4 for both numerator and denominator in order to maintain the same value of our original fraction. So we'll get 1 over 2 times 4 is just 4 over 2. And 3 over 4 times 4 will be 12 over 4. Right. So although this looks worse than our initial complex fraction, we can see that 4 over 2 and 12 over 4 can be simplified to 2 and 3, respectively. So let's write it down here. So 4 over 2 can be written as 2, and 12 over 4 can be written as 3. Thus, 4 over 2 over 12 over 4 is equal to 2 over 3. Yep. So that's the answer. Right. And there are also another way of solve complex fraction is to multiply the inverse of the denominator to the numerator. So let's start a new page. So another way. So we need to multiply the inverse of the denominator to the numerator. And since fractions are quotient, we multiply the inverse of the denominator is the same thing as dividing the two fractions. Right, so still we got 1 over 2 over 3 over 4, and this is equal to 1 over 2 times 4 over 3, where 4 over 3 is the inverse of 3 over 4. So we get 4 over 6, and then we just need to simplify it because we realize that 4 and 6 are both even numbers, so we can divide the top and bottom by 2. So 4 divided by 2 is 2, 6 divided by 2 is 3. So still, we got 2 over 3 and 2 over 3. So either way works. You can always use one way to solve it and use the other way to check if your answer is correct or not. Okay, so I think that's all we got for this question. Okay. So let's leave a comment here.